Hey, what's up guys, this is T-Bone here. Welcome back to another episode of playing Gemstone Legends. Now in today's video, I'm going to be doing a featured unit highlight on Zora, the third installment of the Heroes of the Sisters I've been talking about for the last few episodes. Now quite a few of you have gotten Zora and have been asking about how to use her, how to equip her, and so I thought I would level her up and then try her out. So let's talk about her skills, let's talk about how to equip her, and then we can also see her in action. So we'll jump in here and then we'll take a look. So you can see she's got, I've got her sisters Rihanna, Zlata already leveled up. Zora is the one I'm talking about right now. And if you take a look at her skill, Dizzying Blow, okay, so active skill, she deals damage to a single enemy at 234% attack. At level 10, she jumps up to 290, so not quite as high as as some of the other units you've seen, where it goes up in the 350, almost 400 category. And that's because she is a warrior type as opposed to like an assassin type. So she's not going to get that much more of an attack boost, but she does come with a secondary ability where you will be able to inflict stun on a single enemy for 2 turns. At level 10, it does go up to 3 turns, so if you do use her, you'll want to max out her ability so you can increase the number of turns for the stun, so you can be more effective. Her passive ability increases her attack by 5% at level 1 for every living ally, and I did some calculations here. It's per other ally, so if you have a team of 5 in here, you're going to gain an increase of 20% for the 4 allies you have at level 1, and then at level 7 the attack is increased by 7%, so then it goes up to 24 at that point. Right, and so she does get a little bit of a nice boost to her attack, and but the main thing here is, I think, if you look at her ability, ultimately there are other heroes that can do more damage than her, and so why use her at all? And I think you might want to consider where her stun ability is going to come in. So let's first take a look at the skill here. So here's my Discord server. If you take a look at my description below, you'll see the link to it. And so we can take a look at the skills for stun. And what you'll see here is that while there are, quite a number of rare heroes that can inflict stun, only one of them is yellow, and that is Zora. And so that is one of the benefits right now, is that if you needed a hero that is in the yellow color for stun, you can use Zora. But the problem is, stun is kind of really not useful in any of the other areas anymore. So if you take a look at, for example, at a boss here, a raid boss is already, immune to stun. And so is basically every other boss. Like you take a look at the Rift, right? So if you take a look at the Rift, you look at their abilities, they're resistant to stun as well, and also in campaign. So if you look at a campaign, you go to any campaign, you look at a boss, this only applies in Battle 7. So if you look into Battle 7 for a boss, for a campaign, they're also immune to stun. So you can't really use stun in a lot of situations. You'd just be using them in Arena. But remember, we do have Guild Wars that's coming, and so stun could be a very important skill for you. So let's take a look at how we can equip Zora so we can take advantage of this. So you'll notice that I actually have a Swift set on her, and so this is not not my typical advice of, hey, you got an attacker here, so focus on your critical damage, focus on your critical rate, and increase your attack as much as possible. Instead, I'm trying to actually add some speed here. So you can see here I've added a speed boot here. I do have also accuracy for my armor, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And then I have 4 equipments here that are all about increasing speed here. So you can see I also try to add speed substats where I can. This one actually gives me a nice 18 speed to my Swift set already, so I can actually get my speed up to 317 total. I could still go more, but I think that this actually is okay for now. And so if you take a look at my overall sort of breakdown, I got 317 for speed, and I have 60% for accuracy. I could also increase my accuracy a little bit higher, but for now, I think this will be okay. And the reason I'm doing this is because since she's not going to be really a primary damage dealer for me, in that I could get better damage dealer than her, I figure one thing I could try is I could have her go early, and I could pair her with my other yellow heroes that can either taunt or can that are fast, and also can I have Sigil that actually gives me mana. So I think what I could do is I could have her charge up first, and I can have her stun my opponents before anything. So that's sort of my idea. And in that case, I want her to go faster, and I don't really need her to be as high on the damage list. But her attack builds up just by leveling her up. You're going to gain some attack as well. So I think that you'll still be able to deal reasonable damage. My critical rate's really low. My critical damage is pretty low. So I'm not really expecting her to be the primary attacker. But what we're going to do is we're going to now take a look and see what we can do in a arena setting. And we're now in gold 3, so like my opponents aren't going to be super easy to deal with. But what we're going to do is we're just going to take a look and see what we could come up with. So let's go ahead and see. Now, one of the things I want to say is I actually am doing pretty well in my attacks. I did lose one, but overall I am doing okay here. So before we do this, I'm going to jump in and let's go and do a redeemable code right now so that we can jump in. Since it is going to be the arena I'm going to be focusing on, let's go ahead and put in a code here, and that is going to be arena underscore, arena king. So this is going to be the code for the day. And you get some medals and also 3 additional arena tokens so that you can continue to do your battles in arena. Okay, so that's going to be the code for today. Let's go into the arena. Let's give this a try. I think we were going to go after this here. And now this is my primary attacking team. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap out Ketra. I'm going to swap out Ketra for Zora. And so the idea here is Streetbox, Sigil, and Zora should hopefully go first. And by having Sigil and Zora together, I should be able to also get her ability going. And then we're going to try and stun, the ones that we need to stun. And that's going to be any of these 3. It's going to be Soliana, it's going to be Chloe, and also for sure Eliani. All right, so we're going to, but we could do more damage to Yorgola. Okay, so this is not an easy team by any means, but let's go ahead and try this out. And so I am actually, a little nervous here because I am using a hero that is a little bit under level compared to everyone else. But let's go ahead and see what we can get going here. So, there's not a lot of blue gems for me that's available right now. But what I can do is I can at least get my light gems matched. And so let's try and see what we can do. So this is why I use Sigil. So Sigil can give my units, additional mana. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a look, right? So now that I have a stun here, I have Santos here. And if you can take a look at their abilities. So Santos heals and then increases attack. Or Yorgola grants protective shield. And also basically just makes all of your units a little bit more tanky. And so what I can do is I can actually go ahead and use my stun on Yorgola. I actually don't take her out, but she will not be able to go for 2 turns, which is exactly what I need. Okay, and then Zora is actually going to go again. Okay, and so what we're going to do is we're going to do this, and we're going to stun Santos. Hopefully we can stun Santos. Okay, but unfortunately it did get resisted, and so I'm going to go ahead and use my ability here. I'm not going to use my Xena on Santos. Instead, I'm going to use it on Soliana. Probably not going to take her out, but we are prepping ourselves so that we can attack again the next turn. Okay, and so let's go ahead, and the board is not great here. It's very friendly to my opponent, not so much to me right now, but we'll see that Santos is going to get he's going to be able to attack, but then Zorgola gets skipped. And then if I can charge up at this point, Zora again, then I could once again stun others, but we're not going to be able to do this right now. But instead, I'm going to just focus on Soliana, at least take her out, and I'll just have to deal with Eliani and then Chloe here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to, let's see. So we'll be able to charge up Xena this way. Okay. And so we will take her out because Xena has high attack, so her damage from her gem match is pretty good. Okay, and so now let's see. So what I can do is I can actually use my sigil to also. I can also use sigil to cleanse everything here, and now we're sort of back to where we were. And then who do I actually kind of want to make sure that I don't get. I don't want Chloe to use her skill because she's going to remove 2 to 3 positive stats on me, and I don't want that. And so I can actually just kind of keep this going here. And then I'm going to go ahead and just try and take out additional units if I could. And so this is one of the sort of one of the uses of having a stun on your team is to be able to do something like this, where you could just stun the units that you don't want attacking. Okay, and so we can also go ahead and try and stun Eliani, so that that way, if anything happens, we could at least make sure that she does not attack. And I actually meant to use my Xena to attack Zorgola there, but we'll go ahead and just keep going here, and let's see. So you can see that the stun is going to stay for 2 turns, and so right now with Santos going, that's 1 turn, and then I'll be able to, and then they're going to be stunned for 1 more turn after this. So the Chloe is definitely not going to be able to attack the very next turn, which is what we're looking for. Now let's go ahead and take out Zorgola, and now Chloe's sort of back in the queue again, and so it's kind of a rinse and repeat here. So this way, I think if you can stun the right heroes, then even if you don't have the greatest damage dealers, you could still just kind of basically, you could essentially, sort of chip your way down. Okay, and so let's see. So what I want is, I want to try and lock Zoe for 1 more turn, so I can increase her stun by 1 turn again, and then we're just gonna keep matching light gems. That's really what we're gonna do. We're just gonna keep matching light gems because I have Street Block here that is also feeding me additional mana, and so Chloe's going to be silenced, and then we're going to just continue to match our light gems. And so you can see here, I only have Xena as the damage dealer here. Okay, that's the only one that I can deal damage to, but so far I'm actually doing okay. All right, and so let's see, and Eliana is done, so then we'll go ahead and stun her again. And this is the reason why I actually put an accuracy armor on, because you want her to have a little bit of accuracy, so that if a opponent has anywhere below 60%, right now I have 60%, if they have below 60% chance resistance, then I have a chance to stun them, right? If you leave it at basically 0, if you don't do anything, then you will you're not going to be able to stun them, and you sort of take away that opportunity. So again, my goal here is I wanted to increase my my speed, so that I could use my Zora quicker. Okay, and so it's not a quick fight, it's not a fast fight by any means, but if you think about it, I'm only really using 1 rare unit here as my main attacker, and so far it's been relatively effective. I haven't been attacked yet at all. If you notice, the opponent hasn't had a chance to attack whatsoever, and that is because I'm able to stun them for the duration. Now, what I will say is there are indeed actually there's actually better stunners out there, and I'm going to talk about that a little bit. But I think that it's the synergy wise, it works nice because I have Sigil. And so having Sigil and having Martin here allows me to, allows me to charge up my light gems, allows me to charge up Zora, while also charging up Sigil and Martin, so that I can get some additional benefit there. And so that is one of the reasons why I think in some cases using Zora is not a bad idea. And so Eliani is going to continue to be frozen or stunned, and they don't have anybody that can dispel here. They just have attackers, and so I'm basically running home free right at this point. And so we're just going to continue to attack. And so that is essentially, that's really all it is, right? Like that's really just just continue to attack, and And you can see here, it's not a guarantee because my accuracy is only at 60%. Okay, so having it at 60% means that if you have your resistance anywhere, like, you know, improved at all, you're not going to be able to stun very well. Okay, and so at this point, when you have just one unit left, a stun is pretty devastating to you because you will almost never be able to get out of it. Right, like, so basically with, you know, with the stun, with just one unit, it's only just one turn and you're almost always going to get stunned again and again and again. And so at this point, the game is pretty much over. What we'll do is we'll just continue to attack until we are finally done. And then what we'll do is we'll talk about sort of, you know, what I think are some of the other things that you can, some of the other things I've talked about to consider, okay, when you're talking about a unit that does stun. Why would you choose Zora, and what are the other alternatives? There are quite a bit of alternatives here, and we will talk about them as well. Let's go ahead and quickly try and end this. I only have Xena here against a against Eliane, which is a green unit, so it did take a little bit, but we were able to take it on. And so if you take a look at like the powers, yeah, I mean, it's not too different, 120 versus 115, and I do have Street Bog, I do have Sigil, but really it's the fact that I have Zora that I'm able to stun. Okay, and so this is how you play. You want to, I think increasing her speed was not a bad idea here. Right, increasing her speed instead of having her be just like a pure attacker. I think making her faster with her speed is actually not a bad idea. Now, just one quick thing. One of the other units I think that's going to be really good if you want for stun, like one of the best really for stun, is going to be Varfas. So Varfas stuns for 6 turns, okay, whereas Zora only stuns for 3 turns. Max is 3 turns. And you know, the only thing is Varfas is more about like you know, it's a bruiser type, so you can expect it to deal a bit more damage as well. His attack is just slightly lower than Zora's, but then Zora has a passive ability that gives her a little bit more damage. So then if you sort of like, you know, treat them the same way, Zora's will out damage while Varfas will out stun. And I think that in a PvP format, stun is definitely going to be a really good, you know, a really good skill to have. But if you want to have a yellow synergy, then Zora is going to be the way to go. And so that's going to be it for me for today for Zora. Like, again, this is a very different way of building an attacker with a speed boost here. But I think if you are looking at boosting her stun ability, this is the way to go. You want to make sure you focus a little bit on your accuracy. You do try to get her speed if you want to go with the same build, and then kind of forget about everything else and just see how you do in arena. Anyways, that's gonna be it for me, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comment below what you think about this. What are some of your strategies, and how are you preparing for Guild Wars also? All right, that's gonna be it from me, guys. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye now.